Welcome to Drift into History, where the stories of the past unfold slowly, peacefully, and one quiet journey at a time. If you enjoy relaxing historical storytelling that helps you unwind, learn, and drift off to sleep, consider subscribing and joining us for new journeys every week. Now, get comfortable, take a slow, deep breath, and let's drift into history. Close your eyes, take a slow, peaceful breath, and for a moment, leave behind the busy world around you. Leave behind the sound of traffic, the glow of screens, the endless movement of modern life. Tonight, we are traveling somewhere far away, not to a place you can find on a map today, but to a world that existed hundreds of years ago. A world of quiet forests, endless fields, small villages hidden between hills, and humble homes where families gathered around warm fires as the stars appeared above them. Tonight we will step gently into the year of the medieval peasant. Not as a king, not as a warrior, not as someone living inside a grand castle, but as an ordinary person whose life was shaped by the changing seasons, the rising sun, and the simple rhythm of nature. Imagine opening your eyes early in the morning, before the first birds begin their songs, before the village comes alive. You are lying on a simple bed made of straw and covered with rough wool blankets. The air inside the small cottage is cool. The wooden walls around you have stood for many years. They have protected your family through cold winters, heavy rains, and long nights. Above you is a ceiling made of wooden beams and dried thatch. The small cracks between the materials allow tiny streams of morning light to enter. The room is quiet. The only sound is the soft breathing of your family nearby, and the gentle crackling of yesterday's fire slowly fading in the hearth. This is your home. It is not large. It is not decorated with expensive objects. There are no paintings on the walls, no polished floors, no comfortable furniture like we know today. But this small cottage holds everything that matters. A place to rest, a place to prepare food, a place where stories are shared, a place where generations of families have lived before you. Outside, the village begins to wake. A thin mist covers the fields. The grass is wet with morning dew. The first rays of sunlight slowly move across the countryside, touching wooden fences, stone pathways, and the roofs of small cottages. Smoke begins to rise from chimneys as families prepare their morning fires. Somewhere in the distance, a rooster announces the beginning of another day. The medieval village is coming alive. The village you are standing in is not the kind of place shown in stories about kings and battles. It is much quieter. It is a place of farmers, craftsmen, mothers, fathers, children, and elderly villagers. Most people living here will never travel far from their birthplace. The world beyond the village may feel mysterious and unknown. But within these familiar fields and forests, people have created a life built around cooperation. Everyone has a role. The farmer grows food. The blacksmith creates tools. The carpenter shapes wood. The baker prepares bread. The shepherd watches over animals. The village survives because everyone depends on one another. As you step outside your cottage, your feet touch the cold earth beneath you. The path is not made of stone. It is not smooth. After rain, it becomes muddy. After summer, it becomes dusty. But every person in the village knows this path. Children run along it. Farmers walk across it every morning. Neighbors meet here and exchange greetings. The village itself feels alive. Look around. Near one cottage, a woman carefully carries a wooden bucket toward the village well. The bucket is heavy. The water inside will later be used for cooking, cleaning, and drinking. Nearby, chickens walk freely between the houses. A small dog rests beside a doorway, enjoying the warmth of the morning sun. A farmer checks his tools before heading toward the fields. His hands are rough from years of work. His clothing is simple. A wool tunic protects him from the cold. A pair of worn leather shoes protect his feet from the earth. His life is not easy, but it is a life connected closely to the natural world. He knows when rain is coming. He knows when crops are ready. He knows the sounds of the forest and the changing moods of the seasons. In the medieval world, time moved differently. There were no clocks hanging on every wall. No alarms waking people at a specific hour. Instead, people followed the rhythm of nature. The sun rising meant the beginning of work. The darkness of evening meant it was time to return home. The changing seasons controlled almost everything. Spring was a time of planting. Summer was a time of growing and caring for crops. Autumn was a time of harvesting. Winter was a time of survival. Every season brought its own challenges. A good harvest could mean a comfortable winter. A poor harvest could mean hunger. For medieval peasants, nature was both a friend and a challenge. Softer voice. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of the village. The morning air is fresh. The fields stretch out before you. The sound of birds fills the sky. The wooden cottages behind you slowly disappear into the golden light. Ahead lies another day of work. Another day shaped by simple routines. Another day in a world that feels distant, yet strangely familiar. Because although the clothes were different, although the homes were different, although life moved much slower, the people of this village still shared the same hopes we have today. They wanted safety. They wanted food on the table. They wanted their children to be happy. They wanted a place to call home. And as the sun rises higher above the medieval countryside, your journey into the past has only just begun. The first light of morning now fills the little cottage. The darkness that covered the room only moments ago has quietly faded away. A soft golden glow slips through the tiny window, painting long shadows across the wooden floor. The fire, which had almost disappeared during the night, is gently brought back to life. A few dry sticks are carefully placed onto the glowing embers. Tiny sparks dance upward. Soon, the warmth begins to spread through the small home once again. For a medieval family, the fire is more than a source of heat. It is the heart of the home. It cooks every meal. It provides comfort during cold nights. It gives light after the sun has gone down. Without it, daily life would become far more difficult. The mother of the household kneels beside the hearth. Her movements are slow and practiced. She has done this nearly every morning of her life. A black iron pot hangs above the flames. Inside, a simple mixture of oats and water begins to warm. Slowly, steam rises into the cool morning air. There are no rich spices, no sweet chocolate, no fresh coffee waiting on the table. Breakfast is simple, yet every bite is valuable. A loaf of dark rye bread sits on the wooden table. Its crust is firm. Its texture is dense. It was baked several days ago and must last until another loaf can be made. Nothing is wasted, not even the smallest crumb. Nearby, a small clay cup holds fresh water drawn from the village well. Milk, when available, is a welcome treat. Honey is rare. Sugar, unknown to most ordinary villagers. Every meal depends on what nature has provided. The family slowly gathers around the table. There is no rush. No one checks a clock. No one glances at a phone. The rhythm of the morning is guided only by the rising sun. Children rub sleep from their eyes. Their clothes are plain but carefully mended. Every patch sewn onto a sleeve tells its own quiet story of careful saving and hard work. The father quietly offers a thankful smile before beginning the day's meal. No feast lies before them, only bread, warm porridge, and gratitude. Outside, the village has become busier. A rooster calls again. Geese wander across the muddy paths. A dog happily chases a curious chicken before losing interest and stretching beneath the morning sun. The smell of wood smoke drifts gently through the cool air. From somewhere nearby comes the rhythmic tapping of a carpenter beginning his day's work. Further away, the steady ringing of a blacksmith's hammer echoes softly across the village. Each sound blends into the peaceful music of everyday life. These are not sounds of war. They are sounds of survival. As breakfast comes to an end, everyone prepares for the work ahead. The father reaches for his worn leather boots. The leather has softened after years of walking muddy fields. His wooden-handled tools rest beside the doorway exactly where he left them the evening before. A hoe, a wooden rake, a simple iron shovel. These humble tools are among his most valuable possessions. Without them, feeding the family would become almost impossible. The children also have responsibilities. Even the youngest members of the household contribute in small but meaningful ways. One gathers eggs from the chickens. Another carries fresh water. An older child helps watch the family's sheep. In the medieval village, childhood is filled not only with play, but also with learning the skills needed for adult life. There are still moments of joy. A little girl laughs as a butterfly lands on her hand. Two brothers race each other along the village path before being gently reminded that work comes first. Life is difficult, but happiness still finds quiet places to grow. The village itself begins to breathe with energy. Smoke curls lazily into the brightening sky. Doors open one by one. Neighbors exchange warm greetings. An elderly woman sweeps the front of her cottage with a handmade broom. A shepherd whistles softly as his flock begins moving toward fresh pasture. Life here is built upon familiar routines, repeated day after day. And perhaps there is comfort in that. Each morning begins much the same. Each family knows its place. Each season brings work that has been passed from one generation to the next. There is little certainty about tomorrow. A storm could destroy the crops. A harsh winter could empty the food stores. Illness could arrive without warning. Yet despite these worries, people continue. They plant. They build. They bake. They repair. They hope. As you stand quietly beside the village road, watching the people begin another ordinary day, you realize something remarkable. Although centuries separate their world from ours, the desire to care for family, to earn an honest living, to find moments of peace, has never truly changed. The morning sun now climbs higher into the sky. The shadows grow shorter. The fields beyond the village wait patiently. Soon the farmers will begin the hardest part of their day, and together we will follow them into the open countryside where the land will its beauty. As darkness settles over the little village, the last candle slowly burns low, and the warmth of the fire begins to fade into glowing embers. The fields grow quiet. The birds have found their nests. The village rests, ready to welcome another sunrise and another ordinary day. Though centuries have passed since these humble homes stood beneath the same stars, the people who lived here dreamed of many of the same things we do today: peace, family, hope, and a better tomorrow. If you enjoyed drifting into the past with me, I'd be honored if you subscribed to Drift into History and joined us for another peaceful journey through time. Until next time, sleep well, stay curious, and as always, drift into history. Good night.